Welcome everybody to a new video. Today we will be ranking Danny's real trinkets from F tier to S tier. Starting with our F tier, we have brick. It's a brick. What did you expect? Next up, in F tier, we have coal. Coal is basically almost the same as brick, but just a little better, I guess. Then also in F tier, we have the speedometer. The speedometer doesn't really do much. It costs 450 core and it only grants the user 15 more stamina. Alright, now we move on to our C tier, which is basically just trinkets that are overshadowed by other trinkets. And first up in C tier is the coin purse, which makes you start the round with 30 extra tapes. It sounds good, but there's a much better purse that will appear later. Now next up we actually have the blushy bat, which to get it you have to join the official Blush Crush Studio group in Roblox, which all it does is it increases the attack cooldown of any twisted that attacks the user by 3 seconds. That's not very good. Sure, it gives you a bit more time to run away, but why use this when you can just use a speed trinket that makes you faster? Next up, we have the clown horn and the ribbon spool. The ribbon spool is slightly worse, only because it doesn't activate first floor. These two are only useful when they're paired together, which would require both the trinkets to be equipped at once, which would not allow you to use any other trinkets. Sure, it would be good for distracting and surviving, but not really good in any other situation. And next up for C tier is the lucky coin. The lucky coin increases a random stat once every floor. The effect wears off at the start of each floor, which, I mean, isn't the worst thing, but it's kind of bad. And then also, the last thing in C tier is bone. Now there's two factors in here. One, it's really hard to get because you have to get 100% research on Twisted Pebble, which is a main character, so it's very rare. And all it does is it increases movement speed by 25% for 4 seconds upon collecting or receiving an item, which isn't very good for how much work you have to put in. Oh yeah, last two in C tier, participation award and pull toy. Participation award, I don't even know why this trinket is here. It increases skill check chance by 25%, which I mean, kind of makes it an inconvenience to have, and decreases your skill check size by 10%, so it's also not the best either. In Pull Toy, what this trinket does is increases your movement speed by 25% when a new floor arrives for 10 seconds, which isn't very good. I mean, it sort of has the same problem as Bone. You need to survive 30 floors and get 100% research on any Twisted. And plus it costs over 1,000 ichor for something that's worse than something that costs 400 ichor. Alright, now on to our B tier. Starting it off, we have Scene Manual. Now, you might be wondering why this is here, because there's one trinket that's slightly better than it. Now, next up, we have the Speedy Shoes, also in B tier. These two are popular among starters to be combined since they're so cheap and they're easy to get, but it's still not very good. Next in B tier is the Alarm. What it does is increases your movement speed by 25% when panic mode activates for 10 seconds. You have to survive 50 floors in order to get this, and it also costs 1,000 ichor, which in my opinion isn't very good. Now, next up in B tier is the Megaphone. What you need to do for this is you need to encounter 125 Twisteds and reach floor 20, which is very hard to do. And all it does for almost 2,000 ichor is it grants the air horn item every other floor if the user's inventory has a slot open. It might be decent for distractors, but it's still really bad. It's not good. And next up in B tier, we have the Water Cooler. What you need to do for this, you need to travel 250,000 meters, pick up 30 rare or higher tier items for 2,250 ichor. Now what it does is it grants the user 50 more stamina, but lowers movement speed by 5%. So, not very good for most. Definitely not good for distractors or survivalists. Only really good for extractors, but still, it doesn't really help them there since it's technically a speed item. And we know it's a stamina item. Wrong category. And you might be seeing that we have a lot of items to rank still. Because we have a lot. A lot. To still put in B tier. Now next up we have the Feather Duster. What this does is it restores 20 stamina when picking up an item. Capsules and tapes are not included. And all you need to do to unlock it is get 100% research on Twisted Teeth. It isn't the worst, but it's still a lot of work. Next up, we have Fishing Rod. What Fishing Rod does is at the start of a game, it starts you with 3 random items from the common to rare tiers, and Dandy Shop exclusives are not included. So you could get an eject button, a med in a band, or you could get 3 stealth candies, which sucks. Next up in B tier is the Spare Bulb. What this does is it increases blackout light radius by 25%. Also increases light radius for light producing tombs, which isn't too bad, but I mean, it's not very good either. Next up in B tier is Diary. What Diary does is it increases your stealth by 25%. Now that's pretty, I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not that good. Like, you have to get 100% research on Twisted Flutter, which is a rare Twisted. All for it to increase your stealth by 25%. That's not very good. Oh yeah, next item up is the Vanity Mirror. It increases run speed by 30% during panic mode. It's not the worst, but still not very good. Alright, next up in B tier is Thermos. What Thermos does is increases your stamina regeneration by 15%. You need 1,250 ichor for it. You need to survive 50 floors and pick up 50 items. Which, in my opinion, for all the work, and for the mid effect, it deserves to be in B tier. Actually, I'm going to move it a little down in B tier. Alright. So next up, we have the Nightcap. What the Nightcap does is it increases your stamina regeneration by 40% while extracting from a machine. I mean, why would this be helpful? Sure, I mean, I guess it could be helpful, but still, it's not going to be helpful in most situations. Next up is the Magnifying Glass. What this does is add slightly more completion when performing a successful skill check, but decreases skill check size by 33%. The amount decreased is around 2%, 2.00 in skill check value. Okay. Oh yeah, next up we have the Fancy Purse. It grants 100%, not 100%, 100 tapes when you start a new game, which I mean is better than the Fancy Purse. I mean, that's right. Wait, no, this is the Fancy Purse. That's the Coin Purse. But it does require more work to get than the Coin Purse. But it does give higher reward. And that's it for our B tier. Now we are on to A tier. Starting off with... Oh, wait a minute. I forgot something in B tier. Oh yeah, next up in the B tier is actually the Festive Lights. What this does is it highlights ornaments in your vicinity, which isn't very good. I mean, it does it every 10 seconds, but still not very good. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to put something in F tier. Oh yeah, in F tier we also have Toy Kit. Yeah. This isn't useful. Like, at all. It's not useful at all. Oh yeah, we need to swap golden brick. Now, all the Toy Kit does is it refreshes your active ability cooldown every new floor. It's not very good. Now, it used to be broken when it was released, where every time you entered the elevator before it closed, or when you were just in the elevator, it would refresh your cooldown, and people could complete whole floors in seconds. Which was crazy, but it's not the best. Oh yeah, also in B tier we have Peppermint Ice peppermint icing does is it grants 30 stamina after using any active ability, which I mean is more useful than the feather duster, which gives you 20 stamina upon picking up an item. Sure, items are more common, but I feel like peppermint icing is a little bit better than the feather duster. Alright, now we're on to our A tier. Starting it off with the pink bow. What the pink bow does is it increases your run speed by 7.5%. That's it. Oh yeah. Next up we have dog plush. What dog plush does is it increases your walk speed by 10%. I mean, it's good on some tunes, but it's not very good on any tune below 2-star speed because, I mean, you're not going to be walking most of the time, you're going to be running most of the time. So, yes. Alright, next up in A tier is the blue bandana. What this does is it increases your extraction speed by 7.5%, but reduces skill check chances by 5%. Which actually helps you a lot because skill checks are annoying, to say the least. If you're about to get chased and there's a skill check, you're cooked. So this thing's actually really useful to have. And next thing in A tier, friendship bracelet. What this does is it makes your max stamina 5 more for every alive tune around. And it maxes out at 40 stamina. This is better than the speedometer. Way better than the speedometer since you can control how much stamina you want and need. But still, it's not the best. Alright, next up we have the Sweet Charm. What this does is it decreases your active ability cooldown by 8%, and it has no effect on tunes without an active ability. Oh yeah, next up is Sinking Cat. What this does is it increases your skill check window size by 40 units. And I mean, using it, you can have the largest skill check size in Danny's World, which is pretty impressive. Oh yeah, next is the wrench. What this does is it adds a large completion to any machine. Only one machine every floor though. So it's good if you're priming machines or just really need to extract. This is also paired well with V-Mode. Next up is Ghost Snakes in a Can. What this does is it reduces your ability cooldown by 5 seconds. So this paired with Sweet Charm can actually be pretty OP if you have an active ability. If you don't, it's not good. And finally, in A tier, we have the crayons, which what the crayons do is it gives you a random item every floor. So floor 1, you get an item. Floor 2, you get an item. Floor 3, you get an item. Every single floor. It's way better than the fishing rod since it does it multiple times, unlike the fishing rod, which only does it once. Now we have our S tier, our 5 best trinkets. Starting it off with the Pop Pack. What this does is it grants you a bottle of pop. It grants a pop item every new floor if the user has the inventory slot open, which can actually be really useful if you are low stamina. Next up, we have the cardboard armor. What the cardboard armor does is it protects the user from long-range twisted attacks. Only can be used once per floor though, which makes it really good if you're dealing with scraps or goo, or even GG, because GG has long-range attack. The yoink. And next up, number 3 is V-Mode. It completes one machine instantly. It's the first machine that you extract from on any floor, but only if the number of machines completed is below 50%. It's really good just completing this machine extremely early and completing floors in seconds. Guess which trinket is number 2? Dandy Plush or Savory Charm? Well, if you guessed Dandy Plush was number 2, you would be correct. What Dandy Plush does is it grants the user a 50% discount on all Dandy's shop items in a run, not in the lobby. And the Savory Charm is number 1. The reason is, it saves the user from getting fatally attacked. So like if you're at 1 heart and you're gonna get hit, boom, Savory Charm saves you. If Twisted Dandy is about to hit you, boom, Savory Charm saves you. And grants the user invincibility for 10 seconds. It can only activate once. Oh wait, it doesn't save from Dandy. Okay. So that is the ranking. Comment if I should do any more ranking videos or just Dandy's Bold videos in general. Bye.